And who are you with? Your company or your own?
I own my own company.
Corporation will meet in a regular board meeting in the Gun Barrel City Council Chambers located at 1716 West Main Street, Gun Barrel City, Texas 75156 on Tuesday, September 10th, 2019 at 5 p.m. Call to order. Mr. Damiano, will you do the invocation?
A little heads up would have been nice.
I'm sorry. I thought
No,
you
no,
always
that's
did it.
okay.
I thought you always did it.
Lord, we ask that you devote some time to watching over this board. We have new members that are going to need guidance. We also ask that you watch over the people who protect us, both locally as well as overseas and domestically, our firefighters, our police, and our military. Give us the wisdom to do things that are in the best interest of the city of Gun Barrel. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I ask that everybody speak into the microphone?
All right. Roll call from my left.
Joe Kyle here.
Ken Foster here.
Butler here.
Damiano here.
Merritt here.
Lawrence here.
We have a quorum.
We have a quorum. All right. Citizens' presentation limited to 3 minutes. This item provides the opportunity for citizens to address the EDC Board of Directors on any matter, whether or not it is posted on the agenda. However, in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Section 551.041, the EDC Board of Directors cannot discuss, deliberate, or take action on matters not listed on the agenda. At this time, the Board will receive citizen comments and, if necessary, may refer to the matter to the EDC staff for research, resolution, or referral to the EDC Board on a future agenda. Do we have any? Walter?
No.
All righty. The first item, discuss and or take action to approve the recommended City Council approve the EDC regular meeting minutes of August 13, 2019 and August 26, 2019. Do I have a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes of August 13th and 26th and send them to the City Council for approval.
Second.
All right, a vote from my left.
Kyle, yes.
Foster, yes.
Butler, yes.
Damiano, yes.
Merritt, yes.
Lawrence, yes.
All right, item 2, discuss and or take action to approve the recommended City Council approve the August 2019 EDC month-end financial report.
I move that we approve and recommend that the City Council approve the August 2019 EDC month-end financial report.
I'll second.
Okay, discussion?
Do we
We don't have
we
them.
don't have one, so
Where are they? I'm sorry. Say that again, please.
That's my answer, really.
Okay.
This transition has not run as smooth as I had hoped, so we have to vote for approval to us to get two banks' statements, and we have to change who has access to the accounts and who can get signatories and who can get access electronically.
Well, okay.
So they will be mailed,
We can't vote on the motion then.
so it has to be tabled, in all honesty.
The motion should be removed from the table.
yes.
So
I'll remove.
Whoever made the motion. So remove?
I'll remove the motion.
Okay.
I accept.
And I'll make a motion that we table the financials till the next meeting.
Second.
All right, vote from my left.
Aye. Kyle?
Foster, aye.
Butler, yes.
Damiano, yes.
Merritt, yes.
Lawrence, yes.
All right. Item 3, discuss and or take action to accept nominations for president and vote to approve. Any nominations?
I'd like to nominate Missy Butler.
Is there a second?
Second.
Vote from my left, or is there discussion?
Move the nominations be closed.
All right. Vote from my left.
Kyle, yes.
Foster, yes.
Butler, yes.
Damiano, yes.
Merritt, yes.
Lawrence, yes.
All right. Item number 4, discuss and or take action to accept nominations for vice president and to vote to approve. Any nominations? Mr. Lawrence, would you like to be Vice President?
I would accept that position.
All right, I nominate you.
I'll
there-
second it.
Any discussion? All right. Vote for my left.
Kyle, yes.
Foster, yes.
Butler, yes.
Damiano, yes.
Merritt, yes.
Lawrence, yes.
All right. Item 6, discuss and/or take action to accept nominations for secretary and vote to approve.
I would like to nominate Brandy Merritt.
I'll accept.
Is there a second?
Second?
Any discussion? All right. Vote for my left.
Kyle, yes.
Foster, yes.
Butler, yes.
Damiano, yes.
Merritt, yes.
Lawrence, yes.
All right. And item number, now,
We skipped 5.
I'm sorry. Discuss and/or take action to accept nominations for treasurer and vote to approve. Any nominations?
Nominate Joe Kyle.
Any seconds?
Second.
All right. Any discussion? All right. It's closed. And a vote from the left.
Kyle, yes.
Foster, yes.
Butler, yes.
Damiano, yes.
Merritt, yes.
Lawrence, yes.
All right. Now, executive closed session of the Board of Directors, the Gun Barrel City EDC will now hold a closed executive session meeting pursuant to the provisions of Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code in accordance with the authority contained in Texas Government Code 551.087, deliberations regarding economic development. Section 551.087, deliberations regarding economic development, negotiating proposed project ICE. We're reconvening at 5:16. The Gun Barrel EDC will now reconvene into the regular session pursuant to the provisions of Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code to take any action necessary regarding the items discussed in executive session. Item number 7 is to discuss or take action to approve ICE as a project as discussed in executive session.
I move we approve ICE as a project as discussed in the executive session.
I'll second it.
Is there any discussion? All right, it's closed, and a vote from my left.
Kyle, yes.
Foster, yes.
Butler, yes?
Damiano, yes.
Merritt, yes.
Lawrence, yes.
All right, number 8, discuss and/or take action to approve and recommend that City Council approve partnering with the city on Peak Grankis software in an amount not to exceed $1,700. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion at this time that we put forward up to $1,700.
Is there a second on this?
Second.
And is there discussion? Mr. Baker?
So Granicus software is a subject you've seen before you in the past, those of y'all that are returning. It is a software that the city is looking at purchasing. They have already put it into their budget for the upcoming fiscal year, and since we use quite a bit of software in tandem with them, they would like us to partner with them. We are the only real partner that makes good sense for them, given that we would have, to a certain extent, we'd have some access to some of their confidential documents, so they'd like to keep it relatively in-house. And so this would make us a roughly equal partner. I believe it's about $3,300 a year. I went ahead and just rounded up to 17, but it would be about that sum of money. This software is administrative in nature, makes it easier to do, handle minutes, agenda, the meeting videos, easier to post and publish. It just quickens up and makes more efficient the process. This amount is done on an annual basis, so if we were unsatisfied with it after a year, we could opt out. But it is something the city is going to do later this calendar year, early next fiscal year, I believe. And so they would like us to partner with them and move forward along with them.
Is this the same software that the city secretary presented a couple months ago?
Yes.
What has changed about it since that meeting? Because we voted it down at that meeting.
Well, yes, the board did. That is why we had a bit of a pause on it. We brought it back because the on the city's side, they are definitely going to do it, and they're still interested in a partnership. So that's why it's before again, is to kind of give another look and another thought. I remember, for example, you had the concern about, let's see about the chamber or such and such. That was brought to their attention, and they discussed the fact of, A, they're not subject to the same meeting requirements that we are. They're not subject to OMA, and the fact that you would be de facto giving city access to someone outside, that made them uncomfortable. So we addressed that potential concern and just, again, giving it another look.
So everything you see in front of you up on the screen here is that software, along with the recording that we have to create the minutes from. And the city is going to do away with this system. So we might perhaps be able to patch this in one place to try to use it, but I don't know for sure.
Go ahead.
So basically what you're telling us is if we want to have the meetings here, we're going to have to use that software anyway without access to it.
Okay, now some of the questions that were left over from the last meeting is that past meetings, are we able to upload those into this software? Both the video as well as the agendas?
Define past meetings. Do you mean meetings from far back, or
Meetings that happened before today. Yeah, maybe back a year, back 2 years.
The question was asked, and Janet was not sure if we would be able to upload
remember
all the
that.
videos. We could upload PDFs, but she didn't know if the video uploads would be seamless, if I remember correctly.
I'm sorry, it would be what?
I believe she said we could upload PDFs, but she wasn't sure if the video upload would be a seamless integration.
Okay. And if we opted out, this is an annual expense, and if we opted out at the end of a year, what happens to our data? And what can we go back to this?
what?
I don't think this will be here. I think this is going away. The system that you see now will be replaced by Granite.
Somehow I had it in my mind that we could continue to use this and the city would use the other. I'm not sure where I got that, but I do remember that.
I think that's the case, but that's what's been worrying us, is because I'm not sure we'll be able to have what you have in front of you now, and also to have what we have with the minutes, we'll have to go back and tape them on a tape recorder, some of those kind of
Well, what we have in front of us right now, other than the videotaping, is just a computer. What we have going on right now, other than the videotaping, is a computer patched into these screens, and so that shouldn't go away.
Mr. Baker, have you sat down and actually looked at the software? Has Janet walked you through it?
I have not gotten the opportunity yet. She actually has some kind of training scheduled. One of their people is going to come down and show her how to use it, and the idea was to bring me along as well when that occurs. So there is some training scheduled. It has not happened yet.
Okay. Is she using it at this time?
No, it hasn't been purchased yet, to my knowledge. It's been budgeted. They will, I don't know if they have a firm timeline, but it is in their budget for next year.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that would have been helpful, Walter, in all of this, it would have been a demo of the project, of the software. Okay, now maybe City Council has had a demo, but I think it would have been nice had we had somebody here. And that's what we expected the first time that we voted on this, was a demo. But, okay.
Any other questions?
Can we just wait and put this on hold till October and they get it and then we can decide? We would have the money available anyway, wouldn't we? We wouldn't have to wait for several months in order to approve this.
I think the answer is the city has asked us to be a partner. They are our organizing body, and I think because of that, we should be a partner.
Do you know if the company doing the presentation is going to come down before they make the purchase? You don't? Okay.
They made a presentation to the council. We thought it was such a simple thing to follow them that it wouldn't be a big issue.
Okay. Is there a way that in a year, the question's already been posed, is there a backup? Is there some other system that we can run simultaneously for this first year to see if it works. That way we don't lose everything if it,
Only other system,
okay.
and it will go away. It's my understanding. Gary thinks it might not, but my understanding has been the city is using this system, and when they switch to the other one, it will be the new system.
So I suspect when they switch, this would be archived and required to be retained only, but you,
I think so. I think they've taken everything off of this. As we take the minutes off, everything has been already archived. So the system itself.
the system,
But all the information's been already been archived. The information has already been archived.
You know, we keep the minutes every month, we keep the agendas every month, so everything you see is in our.
It's out there in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. So the videos, what's already out, let's say on the internet, will it stay on the internet? And
Videos have been taken off this system and put on our website.
okay, so
And they're also on YouTube as well. YouTube's a middle step.
Yeah.
so then we're good.
Yeah, I don't think there's a chance we would lose anything. We'll ask that question. We certainly can ask them to come down and make a presentation next meeting if you would like. I don't think that's an issue. If you guys want to see what that stuff will do, we'll have it.
I think that would answer a whole lot of questions.
Table it, and we will bring them down and have them.
well, I'm going to interject before we vote to table it totally. I want Walter involved in this because we're saying this is a new software system that he is going to be the primary user of. So from our perspective, Walter's the one who is going to have to really be comfortable with this. And when he tells me he's comfortable that this will work, I kind of feel we're obligated to support the city of Gun Barrel City. That's a personal observation. But I want him to be comfortable. He thinks he can do his job as well, if not better.
Actually, it makes things much more streamlined. It creates agendas for you, it creates minutes for you, it does a wide variety of things we are currently doing by hand that we won't have to do.
And as I said, the city budgeted a little extra on top of the cost to pay for them to come down, show Janet. I would come in as well. They'd show me. So to your point, there has been some thought put into making sure we'd be up to speed.
All right.
I would go so far as to make a motion, and I'm going to put this on the shoulder of our staff, that after it's been reviewed, if you find it acceptable and useful, that we would spend up to and not to exceed $1,700.
I'll second it.
Is there any more discussion? So the motion is to agree upon approval of
After it's
Walter.
reviewed by staff,
Okay,
if it's going to meet their expectations for us moving forward as a board adequately,
okay, and not to exceed 1,700.
and not to exceed the $1,700.
All right, is there a second on that motion?
I'll second it.
Okay, any more discussion? All right, a vote from my left.
Kyle, yes.
Foster, yes.
Butler, yes.
Damiano, no.
Merritt, yes.
Lawrence, yes.
All right. And item number 9, discussion and/or take action to approve and recommend that the City Council approves sending ED Associate to the annual TEDC conference in an amount not to exceed $1,500.
I move that we recommend that the City Council approve sending an Economic Development Associate to the annual TEDC conference in an amount not to exceed $1,500.
Second.
Discussion?
Yeah, question. We've sent Walter to 2 other things in the past, 2 months, 3 months?
Those were back in June, so about 3 months ago. This will be next month.
Okay. And as you say in here, Walter has got more education on economic development than any of us sitting at this table. He's got a master's degree. I'm trying to figure out where the benefit is other than networking, okay, which I get, having been to these. The other question is that I don't know, and I'm speaking personally right now.
Sure.
I don't know what Walter's job is. I know what he was hired for.
Right.
I have not seen a performance appraisal. I'm assuming there's been one done. Is that correct?
There's been one completed, correct?
Signed
Yes, in his file.
in his file. Okay. Another $1,500 for somebody who has a master's degree. You know, I'm just wondering what the need is when I.
Texas. The need is Texas. Walters has a master's degree in economic development, but that does not give him the knowledge he requires in Texas.
He's born and raised in Texas.
Texas is tremendously different in the economic development business. 501 through 505 is not anywhere else but Texas.
Okay.
And so him being able to network with other developers, people who've been here for a long time, Aaron Demerson, who runs the workforce solutions for the state of Texas, emailed today and would like to meet Walter when he's there. There's just a whole plethora of things you get to do during that 3 days of that annual convention. It doesn't have anything to do with school. It has to do with doing economic development in Texas, which is completely different than anywhere else.
If we do approve this, I would like to have a recap of everything that you do, okay?
Sure.
And from the perspective of a former educator and a person with a master's degree, there's always something you do not know. So there's always more to learn, and more education is always a good thing.
My perspective in conferences, and I've been to lots of them in my career, is that if you can come back to the office with one thing that helps you do your job better, it's been worthwhile. So, try to do that generally.
Refresh my memory, please, Lee. Aren't we required to have so many? Okay.
This is a annual meeting for the Texas Economic Development Corporation, which is the state economic development
Okay.
entity.
Yeah, it's one. You said in your cover memo it's one of the annual meetings, correct?
It's just one. There's only one annual meeting. There is a summer meeting.
Yeah, there are technically two annual conferences, but they only call the one in San Antonio the annual conference. The other they call the mid-year. It's a little confusing, I know.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you required to have any continuing education credits?
As far as being a member in good standing or anything like that, no. There are benefits related to that. For example, if I would like to be at some point down the road a IEDC certified developer, that would require a couple continuing courses and such, but this does not relate to that directly. This is more, conferences, speakers, best practices, as he said, particularly state-specific, and then learning from other developers there what they have to say on certain issues.
All right, any more?
I just like to say that this kind of networking is really vital, I think. I worked at a university professor for 32 years with a PhD, and it's just a lot of people's not what you know, but who you know, and you got to go to these meetings to know them,
Exactly.
at least some of them.
All right. Anything else? Okay, voting from my left.
Kyle, yes.
Foster, yes.
Butler, yes.
Damiano, yes.
Merritt, yes.
Lawrence, yes.
Okay, and item number 10. Discuss and/or take action to approve and recommend that the City Council approve subsidizing a short length of commercial road in the amount not to exceed $35,000.
So you have in your packet tonight, I think, 3 bids from different contractors to build the road.
Lee, we haven't gotten a motion yet. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve and recommend the City Council approve subsidizing short length of commercial road in an amount not to exceed $35,000.
And a second?
Second.
All right, Lee.
I'm sorry. We did Big Chief, and I think that was done extremely well, and I'll tell you why it was. The bid we had that we accepted was $14,900. You all approved up to $20,000 to do that project. When we got down there, we found a variety of other things that needed to be fixed. And as luck would have it, that remaining $5,000 allowed us to do that. We believe that when the subdivision roads begin to be built, We will have the opportunity to work with whatever company is building those roads, and we think build a road for less than any of the bids we have in front of us currently. I think we need to do some engineering on the road. I don't want to see that road broken up in pieces because we didn't put down enough rock base, crushed concrete, and all those kind of things. So I think we need to do a little engineering on that with the engineer who is also going to engineer the roads. So we are very confident that for $35,000 or less, we can get that road built.
So the engineer you're talking about, is that exceed?
You have one bid that Walter gave you tonight. The road bid is $29,000, and the engineering bid is $5,000.
Is that the engineering bid?
Yeah.
Because I didn't see a price on it, unless I missed it.
Turn it over.
So they asked.
Yeah. Somewhere there's another.
There's a couple of bids.
I don't have this bid in my packet.
I think that there was an itemized on the one sheet, kind of.
So some of the bids came in at different points in time. I tried to get all of them to y'all that I could. Some of y'all may just have the bids that were available as of Friday. That wouldn't surprise me. Feel free to share with your neighbor if so.
So the people that are giving us bids, which are running 25, 26, 39, 35,000, okay? Pardon? 29. They're obviously, is that the 5,000?
Let's see. Is it somewhere?
I can't read that.
Okay.
That's why I didn't see it.
Okay. Yeah, it's down here at the bottom.
I guess where I'm getting confused is that you've got a consulting firm in here that you want to pay $5,000 to, and you've got people that are giving you bids, and some of the things that the consulting firm is going to do, people have already bid. In other words, yeah, they have. I read them all.
I think what the engineering firm is going to do is completely do boring holes, soil testing, doing all those kind of things.
Okay, so why are the companies that are going to put the road in and guarantee it, why aren't they saying this is needed? Are they saying this is needed?
We don't know yet. We will work with the engineering firm and the company that's going to build the roads, and hopefully we can figure out what the soil type is to allow us to do it properly.
I'm confused, and I apologize. So you want to hire the engineering consulting firm at, say,
We may hire an engineering consulting firm. We may get them to...
How and when are you going to know if you need an engineering consulting firm?
I would hope that you would trust us to know that.
How many roads have you built?
How many?
Roads have you built?
Oh, lots of them.
Lots of roads, okay.
And always with an engineer.
Is it a fair statement to say that we should be able to get the soil test report from when Lowe's was built? Same area, it should be almost identical?
We're also doing it on the subdivision.
Okay, then if we get Lowe's and they pay for the one on the subdivision, we could use that same soil test report and get the recommendation and use that in lieu of hiring an engineering firm.
Yeah. The other problem with this is that we're not allowed to put a road into a residential subdivision. Okay?
Correct.
There has to be commercial. And so, I guess my first question is, if we agree to do this road, who are we signing a performance agreement with?
We're signing a performance agreement with Gun Barrel Development LLC.
Okay. And they don't get the money until what? A pad is poured for the commercial? We're paying, okay, but I'm looking for a fence around this, because if they don't put the commercial in, we can't do it.
Yes, we can.
No, it's a residential area. You can't.
Here, that allows every house in that subdivision to come to every business in Gun Barrel City. Mayor's own words. We have been through this with Jeff a variety of times. It's legal. We can do it.
So long as it's going to a commercial area, yes.
It is. It comes out right behind Lowe's.
So my understanding, so help me understand in case I don't understand this properly. My understanding, if I reverse my thought process and I'm coming from a residential subdivision, this would give ingress and egress into whatever the name of the street is there next to Lowe's, Austin.
Cody Austin.
So, which gives them a direct access to the main street in Gun Barrel City. So I have to look at it mentally that I'm coming into the business area that already exists, and that we're just starting at the beginning of a subdivision, and we're coming so that they can have quick and easy entrance into Lowe's, as well as come on down and turn left to right and stay in Gun Barrel City prior to going the other direction out, and Payne Springs being a easy entrance also.
The performance agreement requires them to build commercial on the 5 acres that's already zoned B2.
What performance agreement?
The one we're putting together.
Okay, because you said that, and I didn't recall seeing one.
You haven't seen it.
Okay, okay.
You haven't seen it.
Let me just ask a basic question. This is a fairly short piece of road, I understand. If this is a large subdivision, what would keep them from doing it on their own?
Yeah.
Well, I think that this piece lays on the city, and it belongs to the city.
Okay.
So they're going to build millions of dollars of roads inside the subdivision, which they will do for them free in Maybank. And what we've been asked to do is help with this $35,000 for people who are going to invest somewhere north of $50 million.
Which, again, begs the question that he just asked. All I'm trying to say is that, from what I know, you can't put a road, the EDC cannot put a road into a residential area, period, okay? But there is another road there. There is another road there. They can get out, right? Without this road? So they can't get out without this road?
Correct.
So this makes, so this,
Be a road that goes all the way from 198 to Luther at some point, maybe 5 years or 6 years down.
so this would be the only entrance or exit from that subdivision?
No. This would be the only entrance in the start of the subdivision. As they build houses toward the end, they will create other roads down the other end. There'll be an exit on 198 and one to Luther.
But for up to 5 years, it will be the only entrance or exit.
Yeah, but so they need this road to build a subdivision, is what you're saying? They need this road to build the subdivision.
This road will assist them in the phase 1 of this subdivision.
So I think what Gary's point is, they would have to build this road with or without us.
I think the deal in Gun Barrel's against it. I think they might walk away.
They've already
We've had
signed.
2 meetings with the city of Gun Barrel, and they've both been horrible.
They're what?
They've been horrible.
What, you're talking about planning and zoning?
Planning and zoning was one.
We gave them a solution, for God's sakes. They didn't need, that thing didn't need to come to us. It never should have. I'll talk to you about that later. Okay.
So I don't know. I mean, I just don't know. This is a tiny investment for what they're going to do in Gun Barrel City.
I did review the codes in the 505 or 501 to 505, and for this section, it is legal in the way it's written in the codes.
Well, so long as it goes into a commercial place.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, any more discussion? All right. We need a vote from the left.
Kyle, yes.
Foster, yes.
Butler, yes.
Damiano, no.
Merritt, yes.
Lawrence, yes.
All right. Item 11, discuss and/or take action to approve and recommend that the City Council approve EDC budget amendment for 2019 fiscal year.
I move that we approve and recommend the City Council approve the EDC budget amendment for the 2019 fiscal year.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Madam Chairman, Madam President,
Yes.
it's for $45,000, $10,000 is for the action that we have occurring, and the other 35 is for the road.
Okie dokie. All right. Vote from the left.
Kyle, yes.
Foster, yes.
Butler, yes.
Damiano, yes.
Merritt, yes.
Lawrence, yes.
Okay. And number 12, discuss and/or take action to remove Holland Witten and Stephen Schiff from the Southside accounts.
Move this action be taken.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All right, let's vote from the left.
Somebody out there is evil.
Huh? Oh,
Wait a second.
Well-
I'm reading this from correspondence I got
Not written.
today. There's more people than that, so
but it's not on the agenda, so we can't discuss it.
he's on the South Side account. So we cannot amend this as a mistake because this is where we're at now. As we go down to talk and they're going, you've got people that can sign on an account that are not a board member.
Who?
What about Jim?
He's not on the Southside accounts.
He's not? Okay.
You've got to get to item 14.
Yes, he's on the account from the conversation I had today.
Southside told me he wasn't. All right.
Well,
So we can approve these two, but then we'll
that's
have
right.
to make
They're not
another-
talking to me yet, so.
Southside told me they listed off several names.
Quit laughing.
Mr. Taylor was not one of them.
Okay, so that's true. It's the other account that, the investment account. So-
Techstar he's on. Techstar and Prosperity, but not Southside.
Okay, but
But that's item 14.
Yes, we're just talking about the Southside accounts right now.
well, I would say that the motion needs to read these two and any others not currently on the board as of tonight. Because I need to go down and make sure that this agrees so that we don't have some straggling name sitting around in an account like we did at Prosperity.
Well, that's not the way.
I don't think that's specific enough.
That's not the way the agenda item is written. So I get what you're saying, but I mean, this whole thing is kind of backwards anyways, because we should be revising with new officers. You should be revising all of your signature cards in one fell swoop, okay? Because you don't have Taylor on as an officer anymore. You don't have me on as an officer anymore. I'm still on there, but not as an officer, which is fine. But you should be revising all of the cards at one shot because you have a new treasurer, you have a new secretary, you have a new president, were you on the card? Yeah, even the new president wasn't on the card, and we're not adding her tonight. Even the new president is not on the current accounts.
She may not be because she signs bills.
So we could have
But
an amendment.
but she's the president, Lee. She should be able to sign checks. Then it gets.
And that's number 16.
What we are doing right now is removing Holland Witten and Steve Schiff, who's been out of the EDC for I don't know how long. We're still on the South Side Bank.
I don't guess it hurts anything to approve this action tonight.
It doesn't.
And then once you go down and make that change, go ahead, Joe, as treasurer, and check all the accounts, you and Walter, find out what needs to happen and put it on the agenda next month.
Fair enough?
All right, vote from the left.
Kyle, yes.
Foster, yes.
Butler, yes.
Damiano, yes.
Merritt, yes.
Lawrence, yes.
All right, number 13, discuss and take action to remove John Gaddis from Prosperity accounts.
Well, I'd be happy to get John off that, so I'll make that motion. No.
I'll second that motion.
All right, any discussion? I think it holds true as the last one.
Kyle, yes.
Foster, yes.
Butler, yes.
Damiano, yes.
Merritt, yes.
Lawrence, yes.
All right, number 14.
I move that we take.
I need to read it first, that's okay. Discuss and or take action to remove Jim Taylor from the Prosperity and Techstar accounts.
So for this one, I'm going to make the motion that we remove Mr. Taylor from Prosperity and Techstar and possibly our third account if he shows up on there.
It's not written on the,
Not written that
So
way.
we can not only,
if it's not written here, we can't
We
discuss it.
can't discuss it.
You can't modify an agenda.
Well,
can't
yeah.
modify it.
No.
Then the motion to remove from Prosperity and Techstar accounts.
Yes. Are you making a motion?
That is my motion.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All right, from the left.
Kyle, yes.
Foster, yes.
Butler, yes.
Damiano, yes.
Merritt, yes.
Lawrence, yes.
Number 15, discuss and or take action to add Joe Kyle to the Southside and Techstar accounts. Discussion, or motion?
I move we add Joe Kyle to the Southside and Techstar accounts.
Second.
And discussion? Vote from the left.
Kyle, yes.
Foster, yes.
Butler, yes.
Damiano, yes.
Merritt, yes.
Lawrence, yes.
Number 16, discuss and or take action to accept nominations for Prosperity accounts and vote to approve. So,
Would you read that again? Read that again.
discuss and or take action to accept nominations for Prosperity accounts and vote to approve.
Good God.
So on the Prosperity account, currently, we have Taylor, Gaddis, Kyle, Teresa Cryer, and Damiano. This is, as we're cleaning it out, so to speak, this is to just add one more to keep a more than 2 current board members. So I was thinking we would add one of our new members, possibly Ms. Merritt, Mr. Foster, and get the number back up that way.
So don't we need to have an action for nominations?
Yes.
That's what this is requesting, I believe.
It says accept nomination.
I move that we accept nominations for the Prosperity accounts.
Second.
One extra, I think, should be, yeah.
All right.
Now, part of the discussion, this is our major account. This is where we write our checks from. This is where we need to transfer funds possibly once or twice a month so we don't bounce a check. I'm thinking 3 may not be adequate, considering I happen to travel, and I know I do, so that leaves it down to 2. I'm thinking a 4th person on this would merit consideration. That's one.
That's what?
Myself.
What's the other name you mentioned?
Like I said, I was thinking we would take a 3rd one from this because we do have the accountant for that matter, but we try to avoid having her sign checks if we don't have to. Okay, then we can take 2 new people.
Okay, before,
I have to go back to something. Are you on that account?
no, but my thought on that, Gary, is because I am gone so much,
Okay.
should I really be on it?
Now, that I get, and that may change with things changing, you know. Personally, I think there are times the president should sign a check.
Okay,
And so I think you should have the authority to sign a check.
okay.
Now, if you want to,
I'll,
instead of having 4, if we have 5 and you have the authority, that's fine.
yeah. I have no problem with that. I just want it to
Yeah.
be out there that I am gone so much.
Yeah, so I mean, we can put her, I'll put her in there too.
Okay, so is Brandy's name up at this point in time? I've lost track.
No, not yet.
Would you be willing to be a countersigner on the account?
Yes, I would be willing to do that.
So I would like to put her name forward also.
So that's how many?
That's 2.
3.
So it's adding 3. I'm already on. That makes 4, and you make 5.
So we're doing everyone except Mr. Lawrence? Okay, I lost track. I'm asking who is going to be added.
I have,
Brandy and
Who's-
myself.
You 2. You're the 2 that have been nominated? Okay, okay.
So now I'm going to ask a information question. Our bill signer and our countersigner by definition, is not the same person by strategic procedures?
To approve the bills that writes checks.
Okay.
So the person who signs checks cannot approve the expenditure.
So in making Missy and Ms. Merritt check signers, that would mean by default that the bill signers are Mr. Lawrence and Mr. Foster.
Okay.
All right, are we good with all that? All right, a vote from the left.
Kyle, yes.
Foster, yes.
Feather, yes.
Damiano, yes.
Merritt, yes.
Lawrence, yes.
All right. We're on numbers, where are we?
17?
17, discuss Golden Chick groundbreaking.
Golden Chick at 1:15 tomorrow at their site. We'll have a groundbreaking. We'd like all of you to show up if they can, if possible. It'll be about 15 minutes.
That's tomorrow?
Okay. The rest of the agenda is just discussions. Due to me having to be at work at dark 30 in the morning, can I turn this over to the Vice President? You're good with that, Mr. Lawrence?
Yes.
Okay. Excuse me. It's been nice. Y'all have a good evening.
Oh, you're out of here, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm gone.
Formally, you're turning the meeting over.
Do what? Oh.
Is there any other discussion, any further discussion on Golden Chick groundbreaking?
No.
I remember correctly, the motion that you made to fund the $50,000 occurred after the April conference. Can you remember that? Well, I'm not sure.
I believe that's the case, but okay, item 18, discuss marketing materials.
We are in the process of replacing a variety of marketing materials that are gone. We are creating a brochure that will function for both economic development and tourism that we can hand out at the both business expos at Lowe's and also at the Chamber of Commerce. We're going to buy some new coffee mugs if we don't have any of those left. We're going to purchase some keychains that we're going to use as giveaways at the trade show. We're going to create a map for the city of Gun Barrel that you can read the streets on. Is that it, Walter?
I believe so. I believe that was the main stuff. Did you mention the coffee cup or something like that?
Probably will spend somewhere between $3,500 and $4,000 to replace it.
Okay. Is the proposed video part of this, or is that a separate line? Okay.
No. Video will have to be separate.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Scroll up, please. Item 19, discuss RBEG.
Not perfectly. So several years ago, the EDC, I believe this was when Mr. Schiff was president, roughly, the EDC requested a revolving, I believe it was at the time some kind of grant, they've since modified it, a revolving program, $100,000 from the USDA. We spoke to the office up in Canton. That money was used for something. It was a project, was not, as I understand it, was not well accounted for. They took back the money. We have some matching left in a fund. I believe all that money in what we refer to as the RBEG fund, I believe is actually ours, if I understood Ms. Collins correctly when she came down from Canton to speak to us. I'll probably get back in touch with her soon to get a better understanding. The money was put there, again, if I recall correctly, I wasn't here at the time, but the money of ours was kept there with the idea that we could then secure more funds down the road. The idea of the program, the R stands for revolving, that there would be a certain amount of money there that could be grant or loaned, and if it's done via loan, it can revolve and replenish itself and be used as a source like that for smaller communities. That is as I understand it. We don't hear from Ms. Collins too often. It's been a little while since we were back in contact with her. I've been meaning to get back in touch to see, as there's been more discussion at the city and everything with grants about if we should look into asking, once they make more of a push about maybe getting another one as well, another RBEG, another dose of it, so we can do more there. But it's an interesting opportunity that was, again, as I understand it, misused.
So there's a $100,000 account, I think, Southside, that is the matching money for their $100,000. We've talked to them a variety of times, they still have the program, and we simply just think we need to get more information so we can.
So why haven't we? Why haven't we? I mean, that was a couple of months ago. That's a good program. It's a great program. That money comes to us as a grant. We can put it out as a loan, and then they replenish. I mean, it's $100,000.
So what we do not have at this time is a written guidelines on under what circumstances we can loan this out.
I think we do have written guidelines in that application. And I think the deadline for that application is sometime this fall. And Holland and I went up there. I know Mr. Taylor had Yolanda come to the office. We've gone through a bunch of jumping around. The hardest part that we have is the match money for $100,000. So what we need to do is fill the application out and see if we can get the grant. Last year, no one applied for this area at all. So what we'd like to do is try to get that figured out and go ahead and apply for that grant. What they did last time, Gary, was they got $100,000. You used $9,000 of it.
Yeah, we didn't use enough of it.
Money they took back because the program is a little bit difficult to operate.
If it was being handled by the city for the most part, by a city employee for the most part. When it came time to renew, we didn't know it had to be renewed. So, yep.
Well, we want to try and get it again. That's what we want to do is bring it to your attention. And we're going to be working on that as we possibly.
I think it's a good idea. We should go forward with that.
Oh, God, yes.
Forgive me for asking some questions that the rest of you may know the answers to. What exactly does RBEG stand for?
It's a Rural Business Economic Development Grant put out by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Has it? Okay.
I don't know what the current name of it is.
We put up $100,000 in matching funds. We put up $100,000 in funds. They match it, and that allows us to go out and make loans using those funds. So it comes to us as a grant, and we put it out as a 2% loan.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just a question. You mentioned 100K. Is that the number, or could it be smaller? Or I'm just asking. I don't know anything about it.
That's
Okay.
when we first got into that 100K was the starting point. In other words, we had to put up 100. It was the price of entry. Okay.
It's just a 1-to-1 match.
Yeah, 1-1 match. Yeah.
Okay.
Any further discussion on item 19? Item 20, discuss the upcoming sales tax workshops.
I remember it. So there are several sales tax workshops that occur throughout a year. I believe the typical is about 5 to 6, depending on the year. The next one is in Mesquite in late November, November 22nd. It's not obviously the only one that can be attended, but it is the closest in terms of proximity, easiest drive. I just want this up. It's been up a couple meetings recently. I just wanted to put it back up to both inform the newer members about it. It's an all-day thing. You drive up there. You'll hear them talk about the different things, Texas Economic Development Law, Open Meetings Act, various other requirements, how just the very bare bones legal requirements of economic development in this state. And it serves a useful purpose. And just, again, giving y'all just a quick, relatively quick, of how it works. If you have any interest, signal it to me. I would like to put it on probably next month's agenda. Here's a sum of money we'd like to dedicate for this many people to go attend. It's about $175 a person, I believe is the exact sum. And you shouldn't need a hotel or anything. It runs from about 8 to 4, so early start to the day, but you'll get back at a decent time. And, we'll cover it on the EDC.
Do we know when they're coming up, or do we just need to know about them?
Now, Walter, can you put out a schedule to everybody as to when they're coming up?
Yes. I believe it was in an earlier packet. The one that's closest to us geographically is in Mesquite, and I'm fairly certain the date is November 22nd.
It is because I'm going.
Good.
Okay.
And Joe signed up for it already, I think, but we would like everyone that can go to go because it is a very worthwhile day.
Thank you, Walter. Item 21, discuss the board training session.
So we've been challenged by the city ever since our training session that we had in January of last year where we had the attorneys and a guy from Eustis? Nope. Where was the guy from? Help me. Ennis. The guy from Ennis was there. The two attorneys were there. We did a wide variety of discussion for about 4 hours on economic development, the law, and just a variety of things. The second event we had was a tour to Cameron, Texas, to kind of see what they were doing. We need to do something else before the end of the year. And we are unsure what that should be. It involves both you as the board of directors of the EDC and the city council. And so we will kind of be looking to you for ideas that you may have that you would like to participate in to gain further understanding of economic development in Texas. So if anybody has an idea, please let Walter or I know. And it is now September, and we probably need to get to planning something for mid-November before everybody goes off for holidays.
Thank you, Lee. That concludes the agenda items.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Right.
Are you going to, we didn't discuss this.